Hello, hello, hello. This is Tiffany with Healthy Passions. If you do not know me, let me briefly introduce myself. I am a certified personal trainer, certified wellness coach, certified energy healer. By birth, I am an oracle prophetess and a natural healer. I wanted to go ahead and get the Friday TikTok message out today. As you know, this was my sacred week, so I decided instead of doing a live, I was going to video record all the messages and post them on YouTube instead this week because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't overdoing it on my week of rest. All right. So today's message is a kind of like a part two because I've done this topic before, but what it is I think I did it more on an individual level before, and this time it's going to be on a collective level, like just like more of a collective, a larger group of people. So bad company corrupts good behavior. That is 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33. All right, so the notes that I have for today are: the first point is 98% of the world agree that they would hate one group of people worldwide. Every nation joined the bandwagon and all for benefited from being confederate against Yah's people. Each nation each nation are now finally being held accountable for their actions and are currently under judgment. All right. I waited so late to record this because my house, everyone was home today, and we have two content creators, and one is a gamer, so you may hear him in the background. I waited till like 2 o'clock in the morning to try to record this, and he's still loud. He's been going for hours, so I do apologize if y'all hear him, but I gotta eventually get this out. Okay, so the second point is, had had each nation counted the cost of mistreating y'all's people, they would not be under judgment. If they had counted the cost, thought it through, made their own decision, and decided not to mistreat y'all's people, they would not be under judgment today. This whole follow the crowd type mentality, this whole follow the crowd attitude has brought judgment to not only them but also their children to come. So their children that are now coming up now will have to bear the brunt of some of the judgment that they've caused, just like they have to bear the brunt of their forefathers. Okay, now that was more in reference to the other nations. Now I want to talk to the Hebrew Israelites as the race of people themselves. All right, so 2/3 of us is prophesied to perish or to not come in the fold. So the 2/3 Israelites that took the bag, or even if it's not the 2/3, it's the certain type of Israelite that took the bag and then betrayed their people and their God, right? So the ones that wear the Greek letters, the witchcraft, the idol worshippers, the ones that are in constant rebellion, no matter what they sold out for, all right? It doesn't matter what they sold out for, or what condition they did it with. So no matter what they sold out for, with prophecy unfolding before our eyes, you realize that, well, those people realize that they cannot just simply come back to the Most High Yah or Yahuwah. So they cannot just come back. And once they figured it out, some of them are figuring it out now, but most of them figured it out a long time ago. And that's why they constantly come against, or it seems like they try to bring more people out of covenant with them and to do what they do. Like if it's like one of those sororities, fraternities, secret societies, the music industry, whatever industry they go into that deals with these types of things, to where they're doing what they call selling their soul. They try to bring more people into the fold, and then they purposely don't tell them that once they make that oath or that commitment, that they forfeit their inheritance with the Most High Yah, as well as they forfeit the covenant, so they are now blocked out. All right. So to those Israelites who did that, You participated in the debauchery, the perversion, the sacrifices, and the devil worship for centuries now, and actively held your own people down. And for what? That's the question. For what? Probably what? A few perks and some money, a higher status in society, um, just very futile things that at this point don't matter here in the end time. So your soul was corrupted, and you know your destination at this point. So Satan has never filled the void that you were trying to feel when you sold your soul, and and the envy that you have of your people who stayed in covenant is showing. It shows through your actions. It shows through your non-action, like the ones in these societies, like the Black Blue Labor example, they're not allowed to financially advance their people. And we know this. This is a well known fact. And they actively participate in gatekeeping and holding most of the community down. So, for that, you will be paid in full. And it is what it is. So, I just had to put that out there. Sometimes the messages are things that I don't want to say but need to be said. These are painfully obvious. Most of the Hebrew Israelites who have awakened a long time ago already know this. But to the ones who are just now realizing what's happening, they need to know. So the last point to the Israelites into the other nations. So, to the other nations and some of our own people collectively who participated in the satanic system, the system of the Babylonic system. So, this is worldwide, not just in America. Who participated in a satanic system, and you will now have to reap what you sowed collectively. So, a lot of times it seemed like people who did bad advanced and they got away with it for a long period of time. It seems like they were able to get away with it. But here now, in under judgment in these end times, most people are not getting away with it, and the repercussions are coming a lot faster, and people are really reaping what they're sown. So we're seeing some really devastating situations, but that's what they sold. So it is what it is. So I hope it was worth it for you. And that's really all I have to say, because I mean, there was no point in selling your soul for anything. But anyway, in my opinion, because most of us Israelites who went through the curses, we went through hell and high water. We went through a lot of things. Our ancestors went through a lot of things, and we still refuse to commit to that system or to switch over or even abandon the Most High. So it could be done. It was very difficult. It was very hard, but it was something that was doable, especially with the assistance of our Father Yahuwah, the Holy Spirit, our Mother, and our big brother Yahweh Shai. Right? It was doable. Okay, so there's really no excuses. I know some people went through the curses a lot harder than others, but I've seen people who had really hard curses who are still at this point where they're in covenant with the Most High. So um, I do apologize for the rashness. We don't have a lot of time to kind of make you guys understand that. This is just kind of like a message to how things are now. It's our job to kind of report those things. So Yas people could never envy you. So a lot of times it would seem like when we were under the curses that we were jealous of you guys, or we would envy you and want to be in your spot, or we would try to esteem to be where you are. But that was never the case truly, because the true children of the Most High, we at this point, we don't want anything to do with this system. We loathe this system. So don't think that it's something that we envy when we say these things. It's us really just showing love and trying to educate or trying to inform, okay? So we don't envy any other nations, because we know that you guys have to not only go through what we went through, but you also have to receive double. So what we went through was nothing nice, and nobody wants to see double. So y'all are in a very scary position. Um, and nobody envies that position. But anyway, we would never in a million years trade places with you guys. So just know that that's not what we're trying to do. We are not envious of you. Um, it's just, it's amazing where their mind goes, but it's just not true. So the bad seed, the heathens, caused most of the world to they've caused most of the world to forsake their own knowledge, their wisdom, and their good character, as talked about in First Corinthians, right? And they if they had watched the company they keep, just that one verse, all right, if they had watched the company they kept, they would not be in the position that they're in. And now they wouldn't fully understand that the darkness that they participated in, the sin that they participated in, the adultery they participated in, they should know now that it does not discriminate. It doesn't care if you're a Hebrew Israelite or if you are just a person of the other nations or a Gentile. It doesn't matter. If you chose to do that, you're going to reap the repercussions, right? So take I would take 1 Corinthians 15:33, meditate on it, and just know this message won't be very long. It's really, really late. But I love you guys, and I just want you to take care. That's where we are. All right? Have a good day.